Today, the most incredible charred Hispi cabbage and a miso and lemon butter. So this is charred Hispi cabbage with a peanut and herb crumb, miso and lemon butter with black pepper and sesame oil. This is truly out of control, outrageous flavour. So let me show you how we make it. First step, preheat your oven to 160 degrees. And so today, the star of the show, this little bad boy here. This is a Hispi cabbage. Absolutely delicious. Prep, very, very tricky. I'm gonna warn you guys. I hope you're ready. You need to pay attention. This is gonna be tough, but together we can get through it. So what you're gonna need is a sharp, sharp knife. Listen to that. Always keep your knives in good nick. Give it 10 to 20 strokes with a honing steel and invest in a decent knife. So lay it down this way on the chopping board and then with your knife, cut it in half. And then from there, remove this bigger, baggier kind of outer bit of cabbage, but keep that. You can use that for stock soup, really tasty. And yeah, that was it. That was literally it. Let's crack on. So there we go, cabbage ready to go. Frying pan on the hob. The first stage is caramelization. So we want a high-ish heat so we can get a beautiful char on there before we slow roast in the oven. For this one, sesame oil. Spread the oil out into the pan and we want to get a bit of heat in there first. So we are good to go. First cabbage. Second cabbage goes in, flat side down, and apply some pressure. Get your roasting tray ready. The key to this one is not to be scared of colour. We want to get a really, really good char on there. Already we have a touch, but we're going for it. Here we go, look at that, we're getting there. But we are not even close. A little more heat, tiny dash more oil. We're getting there now on this one. Now that is pretty much there. That is what we want. Look at that. So now we have some epic caramelization. Those go into there we go, some beautifully charred cabbage. So what I like to do is give them a little extra oil now they're in the oven. Little shake about, just make sure they're nicely lubricated while they're in there. Job done. I'm going to use a nice large mixing bowl so we've got a lot of room to kind of whip and mix and mash and mush and all that. Here I have some softened butter. I've basically just left this out for a few hours. There is no real recipe to this one. I mean, I could tell you the amounts that I put in, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. You can chop and change it, you can adjust it. So in with some butter to start. You're gonna want a spatula or a maurice as they're known. I'm just gonna break that down a little bit. And to the butter, an incredible ingredient, miso paste. It has some awesome umami flavors. And so, to kind of get things going, mush this up. Fork. At this point, we're gonna hit it with some lemon zest. This is gonna give it a great lift and some acidity. Keep hold of the lemon because we're going to be finishing off the dish with some juice at the end. I could put it in here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use this later on. So at this point, get in there with some cracked black pepper. Be relatively generous. We're not going to be seasoning our cabbage or the ground nuts that are going to go in, although the peanuts are salted. I'm going to give this a tiny little touch. of some Cornish sea salt. That and Maldon salt are the best you can find. And that there is miso butter heaven. We're gonna mash this up a tiny bit more and then re-chilling it in the fridge so it sets. But that really is something special and completely transforms our cabbage into something outrageously tasty. There we have it, our beautiful miso butter with lemon zest and black pepper. We're gonna take a container, pop in. God, it's so good. Pop in our miso butter, basically flatten it out into the bottom of the container there. So there we have it. At this point, our butter goes into the fridge to chill, ready to use later. And these things are looking fantastic. So the next little job, we're going to make a nut and herb crumb, if you will. We're going to basically blitz up some peanuts with some chives and parsley, and that is going to give us, I don't know, you could call it a gremolata, you could call it crushed nuts with herbs, I don't know. There possibly is a name for this. What it is, I don't know. What I do know is we're going to be using this stick blender attachment. Unsurprisingly, we're also going to use a stick blender. And by the way, this is a great little tool. If you don't have one of these, it is fantastic. Next to pots, pans, knives, and what have you, this is probably the most used little bit of kit in my kitchen. Relatively inexpensive. This is not some sort of paid commercial or whatever. I'm not even going to show you the brand just to prove that point. But yeah, there we go. And so we're going to go in with salted peanuts. You can use unsalted, you can use any other kind of nuts you wish. Some chives. You know what? With another really great little bit of kitchen kit, kitchen shears, aka scissors, but right, there we go. So we've got roughly 2 parts peanuts to 1 part chive to roughly 1 part parsley. Recipes are obviously available on my website where I do give you measurements, thewckchannel.com. It's up bit by bit. We want a great texture to it, so a few more little pulses, and that there already is what we want. Takes no time at all, and it's really good. Get a load of that. Fresh, yet with some richness. Absolutely wonderful. You need to make this one. Scatter it over some fish, meat, you name it. Something I came up with last time I made this cabbage. Absolutely delish. There we go, guys. So that is half an hour. And these things are looking fantastic. Insane caramelization. They are really nice and soft. They're going to be super sweet. So another 5 to 10 minutes. Possibly a touch longer, we'll see. And we are going to be good to go. And so to finish off our cabbage, for the last sort of 3 to 5 minutes in the oven, we have some lovely sesame seeds. So what I'm going to do, stick those there. They're ready to go. We're at 33 minutes, so not too much longer. I'm going to give them another 4 to 5, and then we're going to sprinkle over our sesame seeds. 5 minutes so that they toast off perfectly. Just 5 minutes to toast them off beautifully. Just 5 minutes to get those toasted off, and then we're good to go. And we're going to finish our cabbage in the pan. Take your seeds. Sprinkle those over the top of our cabbage, and then we're literally going to give those 3 to 5 minutes just for the seeds to toast off perfectly, and that is going to be that. There we go, pan ready. We're going to need that in a tick when the cabbage comes out. And so at this point, our butter, which is chilled perfectly. So get that ready to go. There we go, 40 minutes on the nose. We are done. Look at those puppies. Absolutely delicious. And so, over to the pan. And we're going to finish them off on the hob, basting in our beautiful miso butter. Let's do it. On a high medium, lay in our cabbage, a nice heaped tablespoon. There we go, that butter's melting away now, and then these bad boys are going to get basted. Move them around in the butter while it's melting. It's like some kind of next level Marmite going on here. And guys, there we go, we are done. So there we go, that is the cabbage on the plate, dash of lemon, sprinkle with our peanutty, herby, crumb, or whatever you want to call it. Open to suggestions if it doesn't already have a name. Butter on one. And now let's give it a go. Spread that butter out a little touch. Outstanding. You can taste the char from the cabbage, but it's also incredibly soft and sweet. Honestly, flavour in that. You've got to love miso. It's like Marmite almost, but on a whole nother level. This is great. Dripping in that miso butter. It's vegetarian, healthy, debatable, but absolutely outrageous flavours. Who needs meat? Well, me, but... So that is one you really have to try, guys. Like and subscribe. Find the recipe on my website, thewckchannel.com, and I'll see you next time.